Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning. How's everyone?
Good.
Perfect. Welcome again to our Earth Science class. How amazing it is. All right, this morning we're going to talk about the layers of the Earth. Actually, this is going to be our last class because our last class for the week. Why? Because it's going to be
Summer.
summer. Are you guys are ready for summer?
Me.
You are?
Yeah.
What are you guys planning on doing for summer?
Go to the pool.
Perfect.
And go to the park.
Wonderful.
And ride my bike.
Ah, nice. Oh, wonderful. I like that. I like that, Emily. Very nice. All right. Now, the layers of the earth. So what do I have in my hand?
An onion.
See, it is exactly like the earth. This is where we live, right? So we
Yeah.
live somewhere around, right? We live in where? In America, somewhere around. So this is just like the earth. So you turn like this, right? That's exactly like the earth. So we're just gonna go, we're gonna go over the layers of the earth. We have how many, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So we have 5 layers that we're gonna go over. So we have the inner core, we have the outer core, we have the lower mantle, we have the upper mantle, and we have the crust. So let's go back again so that we remember, right? So the inner core, when we see inner, what do we see?
The inside.
Inside, right? Right, so that's the inner. When we see outer,
The outer
so that's
side.
when you look at that. This is the earth. So the inner is inside and the outer is
Outside.
Perfect. Now we have the lower mantle, we have the upper mantle. So the lower mantle gonna be somewhere around here, up, right? The lower, and then the upper gonna be
On the upper part.
up.
On the up.
So the upper is right there, and the lower is
On
perfect. And then the excited part, we have the
crust.
right? And the crust is so that you remember. The crust is where we
Live.
Perfect, Abigail. Good job, Abigail. So the crust is where we actually live, right? So just picture it. Let me make sure that you guys remember that. The crust. How many of you guys like pizza?
Me.
Pizza crust? All right. So
I
this is where
cheese pizza.
perfect. You like cheese pizza. All right. So that's been crust. The crust is where we
Live.
Let's go back again so that we remember. The more practice that we do, the more that we're going to remember it. So we have the inner core, we have the outer core, we have the lower mantle, we have the upper mantle, and we have the crust. So let's go back. We have the inner core. The inner core is deep within the earth and under a lot of pressure. So that's been gotta be worked very hard, right, for us. And it is the hardest part of the earth. So let's remember that. The inner core is the hottest part of the earth. Next, we have the outer core, which is from
The
outside. So outer, right? So it flows around the center of the earth. So it flows around the center of the earth. The center is going to be somewhere around here. And we have the lower mantle. The lower mantle is under a lot of pressure so that metal stays solid. Wow, a lot of pressure. And we have the upper mantle, which is the lowest part of the upper mantle. That part is hot as well. And also the upper part is cooler. So let's try to put it together. The lower part is hotter, and the lower part is hotter, and the upper part is
Cooler.
And the crust is where we
Live.
perfect. Is the thinnest layer, right? Compared to the other layers of the earth, which is a crust. So just to remember, let me go back. Let me start with Kira first. Can you please go over? Let's go over the first two. For me, can you please read out loud
Inner
so that
core.
you remember? Okay.
Inner core.
Uh-huh.
Deep within the earth and under a lot of pressure. Hottest part of the earth.
Okay, the second part.
Outer core.
Okay.
Flow around the center of the earth.
Now, when you see inner, what do you see?
The inside.
Okay. When you see outer, what do you see?
The outside.
It reminds you of the outside. Perfect. Now we have the other 3 parts. Emily, can you please go over? Read over.
Lower mantle, under
Uh-huh.
a lot of pressure, so
Uh-huh.
the metal stays solid.
Okay.
Upper mantle, lower part of the upper mantle,
Uh-huh.
hot. Upper part cooler.
Emily, before we go further, so when we see lower is
At the bottom.
When we see upper is
On top.
perfect. And the last part,
Crust.
uh-huh,
Where we live.
will live actually, will live. Okay?
Mhm.
And what do you see when you see the cross? What do you remember? What I said before?
I think of like pizza.
Perfect.
Pizza
That's a perfect way to remember pizza, right?
Mhm.
So the cross is where we live, and we think about pizza, right? All right. So now, since it's gonna be summer is approaching, so this is our last class, and have a great summer, everyone. Okay, perfect. So now, since we don't have to go to the lab to practice, we're gonna have our models. We're gonna have to, you see, when we get to the lab together, if you guys have questions in the lab as well, you guys can ask. We're gonna touch the models of the earth. You guys are gonna see inside the deepest part. You guys are gonna see the inner part. You guys are gonna see the outer part. And also you guys can see the crust where we live. All right, so that's how it is. Now, we're gonna have, since this is our last lesson, we're gonna have our quiz next week.
Mhm.
So that's means for that quiz, it's gonna be exactly coming from the
Board.
layers of the earth, right? So it will be very important for you guys when you get to the lab to touch the models, try to understand about the layers of the earth. And also, if you have questions, you guys are welcome to ask in the lab. And also, get ready for the quiz, since it will be our last quiz before the end of the school year. That'll be perfect if everybody can have a good grade for that. That's pretty, it's very nice, and that's pretty easy as well to remember. And before I go further, do you guys have any questions?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
For the lab, are we going to be like having a project on the lab?
Since this is our last class for that one, definitely not. We're not gonna have a project for this, but definitely you guys will be welcome to touch the models, to take a look at it, see how it looks like, so that you guys have more understanding about the earth and see how it looks like. Because this is the onions, but when you get to the lab, you guys are gonna see the earth is gonna be cut off for you, so you guys can see the inside of it. So you guys are gonna have more understanding.
I have a question.
Sure.
This isn't really related to the lesson, but what are you gonna do this summer?
Very nice. Summer, I'm planning on traveling. I'll be going to New York for summer.
Woo!
Yes, definitely. I'm gonna be going to New York for summer. Have summer before school start for next year. That's what I will be doing. So I'm gonna be missing you guys.
We'll miss you too.
Okay, we'll be
You're a
missing
nice
you.
teacher.
All right, so let's wrap up. But before that, do you guys have any other questions for me? Remember, this is gonna be our last class, and also remember that we're gonna go to the lab. So if you have anything that you're thinking right now, or if you do not have any question, so we're just gonna go ahead and wrap up and go to the lab. Okay. All right. It was a pleasure seeing you guys. Have a great summer,
You
and
too.
see you again.
Bye.